MDOT presents the Extra Mile Podcast.
Welcome into another edition of the Extra Mile Podcast presented by the Mississippi Department of Transportation. I'm Paul Catul, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Will Kraft. And hey, they let us out of the building, little road trip. Excited to be on the road at the Neshoba County Fair, and we're going to have some good stories today. We've got a Politico, that's a little fancy term right there. We've got Politico Pete Perry. We're at his cabin today. Pete, thank you so much for hosting us and having us. Really appreciate it.
Glad you're here. Even if you brought Will, glad you're here.
we brought him along. So listen, not everybody knows about the fair. In your words, as someone who's been here quite some time, what is this? What's going on here?
Well, this motto describes it about as good as anything I can say. It's Mississippi's giant house party, and that's what it is. It's a house party. Different people come to it for different reasons. There's some people, our friends in Jackson, that come here thinking the only thing we do up here is politics. There's some people, the only reason they come is for the horse races. There's some that come only because of the exhibit hall. You got the dairy cow and beef cattle shows. You got all different aspects of what goes on here. Some people come just to see friends again or whatever. I mean, I grew up here. I see high school classmates I don't see the rest of the year. They come back, neighbors on both sides of us here. The fact that you've got this county fair that's surrounded by cabins. Everybody has county fairs. They talk about some fair they do down there off of High Street in Jackson that's a fair, but I never have found any cabins there or front porches, and so I'm sorry, Andy Gibson. I don't know why to go down there because I ain't found a porch with a swing on it yet.
Got to get the porches in.
So it's a week-long party. Now it's turning into a week-and-a-half-long party.
Yeah,
and it's a house party. You see friends. You food. There's entertainment. Some people come only for the entertainment. There's all different aspects of why people come, and they're all good reasons. And everybody can talk about what they like about it best, and they're right.
That's right.
If that's what they like about it best, that's fine.
Absolutely. Now, how many of these have you been to? Maybe shorter to say how many you've missed.
I have been to staying at a cabin, living in a cabin since 1955, however many years that is. I went to the two before that when I was 3 and 4 years old, in 53 and 54. We didn't have a cabin then, so.
But you were here.
But I was here.
So you have made quite a. Now, how about your neighbors? You've had the same neighbors for a while?
No, I bought this cabin. Family had a cabin down in Happy Hollow, but I bought the cabin that was here in the fall of '74. So I've been on this site now for 51 years.
Yeah, wow.
We tore that one down and built this one in '99. But when I did a couple years later, my cousin bought the one right there. About 20 years ago, he bought another one on the square, and he sold that to another cousin.
Oh, okay.
So I still got a cousin.
Kept it in the family. That's
kept
right.
it in the family. That one, the family that was there sold it in '87, and so the folks that were there.
So they've been there a while, though.
Since '87, yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty familiar around here.
Now, the one 2 doors down was a friend of mine I went to school with, grew up in Philadelphia. He lives in Jackson, I too. And they've been there since that cabin was built in '66, and so it hadn't changed. Some of them hardly ever change, and some of them might move around a little bit.
Yeah, very impressive. Definitely a unique experience. Come up to the Neshoba, check it out. We don't have any rain today, thankfully.
Well, thankfully today, and it's been reasonably cool.
So far.
We're supposed to get rain towards the end of the week and keep the temperature down. And the rain's fine every now and then, an afternoon shower that cools it off. We got a good shower up here on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
And it kept it cool the rest of the day. I mean, it was fine. So
we like those kind of rains. We don't want the one that comes and just shocks it right into the humidity.
Yeah, we don't need that. The ones that rain and then it just gets hot and humid after that.
It makes it
steamy,
even worse.
No doubt. This is a good time. Thankfully, Will's brought me and Drew along for years, and I'm beginning to dig it for sure. This is a cool event and a really historical event. There's been some big time speakers over the years. I have in my notes, Ronald Reagan spoke at this. Haley Barber's had a memorable speech. You mentioned Ross Barnett. Tell me a little bit about some of those memorable speeches that we've had here over the years.
Well, there's a story about the Reagan one, which I've been encouraged to write a couple of chapters about it. He came because in 1978, Lanny Griffiths, bless his soul, just died in the last month or so, was sitting down there and reading through the fair program. It talked about every governor's been here and so, the highest ranking person been vice president of the United States. And he said, who was that? And I said, well, it really was a lie. It was Jim Eastland, who when he was senator and Spiro Agnew had resigned, Eastland spoke here that year because it was his election year against Gil Carmichael. So he was next in line to the presidency. Yeah. So they called that and so Lanny said, we got to get somebody higher than that. So we started working on getting whoever the nominee was going to be in 80 to come. And it'd take 2 podcasts to tell the whole story, but we ended up getting Reagan to come. And we operated out of this cabin and my house in town, the 2 advanced people staying there. And then after we got him out of town, we do a wheels up party here for the advanced folks. But it was probably the most memorable. I mean, you can't top what Reagan did with his. I mean, Michael Dukakis came in 88. He turned out maybe 6,000 people, half of them probably that supported George Bush, but went to see a presidential candidate. John Glenn came in 82 when he was talking about running, but didn't. Jack Kemp came when he was thinking about running in 87.
I didn't realize that.
I mean, there've been several like that, but Reagan's speech had to top them all.
That's probably the most impressive. I think I've seen, everybody that was here for that tell a story about it.
Yeah. And that was a short speech. The speech was only like 7 or 8 minutes long. I mean, it was a short.
Just to have the president here, a presidential candidate here.
And it was the first thing he did after the nomination, and then he left here and went to the ranch for a week. And so it drew 18 and a half minutes worth of national news for y'all people that keep track of those statistics.
Paul knows that date over there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What about, now tell me, I don't know if this wasn't necessarily the typical Neshoba County Fair speech, but what was the speech that, I can't remember, I think maybe Governor Barber, I think he was already governor, gave from right here.
Oh, he did it every year. The setup was a little bit different. We didn't have that big couch over there. The swing was there. He decided every year after he got elected, he did a press conference with the local press, not the statewide press, because they caught him down there, but any of the local newspapers or radio stations in the 8 or 9 counties around here. And he'd sit there in that swing, and the press was lined up out here. And he did that every year during his term of office.
I think I must have only got to come up for one of those because I seemed like I just remember it being, a big speech that he only did that one time. He told me he was doing it every year. Okay.
He did it. I think he did it all 8 years. The first year he's in office, he wanted to do it because he realized that the press gathers around when you come off the back end of the pavilion or whatever.
Yes, that's right.
And they'd see him in Jackson. They'd see him, and he realized that the others didn't do it. So since this was a local event, why not? It's a statewide event, but it's a local event. Why not recognize? Maybe it was one of the local papers that suggested, but my son was on the staff at the time, and so he hung out here. We ran his first campaign basically out of here, and so
right, yeah.
And so and this was a nice venue. You could sit up here above it. And,
sure.
And about 2:00 every Thursday afternoon, he'd spend 45 minutes, and the local press really appreciated it. I mean, it was a good thing.
Get that one-on-one time.
Yeah.
And two, you just mentioned that the timeliness of where we are. It's about 1:30. We should have a little activity on the horse tracks behind us here at some point. Maybe some heats and some races getting started.
They'll start warming up, and then at 2:00 the races will start.
There we go. So we might get an actual race in the background here.
Yeah.
Very nice.
For sure. Hey, listen, lots of history. Those are 2 pretty cool stories, big names. Listen, so let's take it back to Jackson. Take it back to MDOT. Will tells me.
MDOT. Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, that's what that is. So listen, Will told me that you know our executive director Brad White pretty well. You've known him the whole gambit, since he started with Commissioner Hall at MDOT and all the cool things that he went on to do. So tell us tell us about Brad White. What do you know about
It
Brad
actually
White?
starts before Commissioner Hall.
Sure.
Okay.
When Brad was 18, he was the county chairman in Simpson County, county Republican chairman. And I was on the state committee. And for some reason, maybe he was doing a URF dinner there in Simpson County. I went down to the dinner, and I got to know him at that point. And from that point, you know, he got involved in Fordyce's campaign or whatever as a kid, and then went to work for Commissioner Hall, his first job in politics. But you know, I've spent way too much time with Brad White, some of which we probably can't talk about here. But I've enjoyed. While my kids were both gone, living in different places, Brad's mother brought me in and has fed me plenty of Thanksgiving dinners and Easter dinners too, along with their 25 other members of the family I was just saying. But
Absolutely.
I've been through a lot of different political things with Brad. He's been very good, and I'm proud of him now with where he is. He seems to have found his niche very well, and has done a whole lot, in my opinion, to help y'all's agency.
Absolutely.
And I think this is just one small side of it. You know, hell, a lot of people don't know what MDOT means, except for when you try to drive down the road and they're working on it and causing a bridge is out and you got it torn out to fix it, and they cuss MDOT. They don't realize all the important things it does.
We're very familiar with that.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. If y'all would come in the other way, if you come down Highway 16, well, thank God they are overlaying and repaving it, and in another week it'll be finished. But right now, there's some people that complain. I used to be in the construction business.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
and
right.
people complain about the inconveniences that construction causes, but you can't do it without some inconvenience, and you're trying to make it better.
Yeah.
And so for a short period of time, you got to live with inconvenience so that for a long period of time, you get the benefit.
That's right. And look, we'll wear our pie when we're, you know, deserving of it. Sometimes projects run a little longer than they're supposed to, or situations happen. Every now and then the stars just don't align perfectly. We get that.
Things will happen. Some things.
That's right.
I mean, weather hits in or accident happens or whatever. But you can't pave a road and drive on it at the same time.
And
you can drive on half of it, but you can't drive on the other half. And so that means you got to.
That's right. Well, look, and I mean, as much as my parents have, you know, preached at me about taking care of my stuff, you know, especially when they said, you know, you take care of it a whole lot better when you spend your money on it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's taxpayer dollars out there. We want to take care of it. We got to do the maintenance. And again, understanding it can be inconvenient, but we want to see it preserved.
It can be, but it's not inconvenient. It's 5 minutes. It's you know, it's not that bad. People need to get over it. But the improvements have been going on. I mean, there's lots of places you can see it. And I mean, if you're tearing up the stack, it's going to take longer to fix it. But you could have closed the whole thing down and said go around rather than figure out a way to travel on it at the same time with a little inconvenience.
And hey, as far as the contracting world, they would prefer that, right?
Oh hell yeah.
Not have to worry about traffic or anything.
They'd rather not have to do everything at night, not have to worry about traffic,
Sure.
close it down and let us do it, but no. And it costs more to do it that way.
Absolutely.
But you still drive on it at the same time.
That's right. That's right. Definitely pros and cons, and we are sensitive to that. Absolutely.
But we are. About 3 years ago, MDOT resurfaced Highway 21 coming from town out here.
Yep.
Now we got 16 coming in. I mean,
we're getting there.
We appreciate it here. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Absolutely. Well, just talking about some of the other things that have gone on in Neshoba over the years, any other just huge memorable events or occasions that have been spurred up in your many years of coming here?
I mean, there's local stories of things. I mean, one of the most ones that hits me because I'm a horse lover. In 1963, there was a horse out here, Morris Thurl, whose cabin is right down there. Well, Morris is dead, but his family is. He started helping bring racing back here, and because it just slowed down during the early 50s, and a bunch of local folks did. He had a horse, really a great horse that year, Mac Abbey. And every day he ran, he broke the track record. When he ran on Tuesday, he broke the record he set on Sunday. When he ran on Friday, he was racing in the final championship race, and he, about 10 yards short of the finish line, had a heart attack and died.
Oh, gosh.
Whoa.
And stumbled across the finish line dead. He ended up third place because he was ahead when it happened. but he stumbled and sitting there in the grandstands watching this great horse. He's buried out there in the middle of the infield right now.
Oh, really?
And there's a tombstone out there for him. But you know, as a 13-year-old kid, that was memorable. I mean,
That's pretty. I mean, I want to say neat, but I mean, yeah.
It was because I've been hanging around at the stables with Mr. Farrell and Buddy Dees and some others around, and so watching that horse that year, that was so great. Ross Barnett, when he was probably my involvement with politics was because of the fair. I mean, the fair was much smaller when I was a kid. I mean, our cabin, 3 cabins off the square, everybody said, "Why y'all want to be so far away?"
Oh, wow.
You know, when the daddy's building, why y'all want to be that far away? But you know, going up and watching the speeches, because at that time the Democratic primary was what mattered, and it was the week after the fair was over. And so campaigning out here for governor and whatever, and sheriff and local races was a big deal. You know, they Happy Holiday had a banner up there for every one of the governor candidates in '63. But Ross Barnett speaking in the late 50s when he was running, in the 60s when he was governor, the ones people remember are the ones in like 66, 67, 70 when he came and played the guitar. That was entertaining. That wasn't his real speeches. He kind of came back as a former governor, and it was entertainment. But his speeches in the 60s were really good. I mean, they were not really good necessarily that you agreed with them, but just he knew how to deliver one. The dark horse candidate came in here, was running for governor, rode a black horse into the
Wow.
into the square, came in from outside riding a black horse and coming in. I mean, they were just all different kinds of stories from where the political folks go.
Let's parlay that into today, where we are right now, and just sort of looking ahead. I mean, it does seem like the governor's race has already been talked about a lot. You've got some folks that have already qualified. You expect a big turnout here over the next couple of years?
I don't think the governor's race is going to affect next year's attendance. The candidate somewhat, and I expect to see the potential field narrow down once they get in. What I'm worried about is they moved the fair now. Next year it's going to be the middle of June.
I actually forgot about that.
And it's not going to be the week before the election like it's been. The fair used to be the second week of August.
Right.
But during the statewide election years, they moved it back a week so it'd be before the primary. Finally, in the 70s, they kind of moved it back to where it's always the week before. This is the last week of July. But still, on election years, made it the week before the primary. Mm-hmm. Now, with it being in June, it still will have the color for the cameras to come up here and get some B-roll film and whatever else. But its significance about being where you either kick off your general election campaign because you feel like you got the primary won, or where you have your fight to see who's going to make the runoff. I don't know what the significance is going to be next year.
I actually forgot.
Do we kind of go into the same thing? And I don't mean to mean the others, the watermelon spit or the Jacinto or the other political things. Are we just going to be another? I'm not sure what that change is going to have to it.
That's a great point. Honestly, I completely forgot about that.
I hate that for it.
It's very true. Well, even then, still, does it seem like it's early to be talking about this governor's race?
Hell yes.
It does seem like, okay.
It's way too early.
We're not alone. We are not.
I mean, I don't know if you can quote me on that, but hell yes. It's
Absolutely we can.
It's way too early. I mean, it's not too early for people to be looking and jockeying and making noises, but to be into the campaign right. You can't run a 2-year campaign.
There'd be a lot to weigh on.
You can't. You can't be like some and run a 2-year negative campaign against your opponents. You can't. How long does it take somebody to realize what your position for are? I mean, it's talking about it, gathering support, whatever, measuring support. Certainly, you can be doing that, but campaigning, no.
Do you think all the names we keep hearing? Do you think everybody's going to run?
No.
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 We're going to certainly see that dwindle some.
I think it will dwindle a lot.
There you go. I don't know yet.
I think it will dwindle a lot for governor, which means some other races might get more crowded than they are right now.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, and let me make that clear. I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, and I don't know, but that just common sense and history tells me that.
I could absolutely see it. Yeah, no doubt.
Sure. Hey, he's good job bringing us back down to ground floor a little bit. You know, there's a lot of talk about those races, but it is indeed a long ways away for sure. Listen, I am a Jacksonian myself. I know that you said you were born here, but you live in Jackson. You're on the 1% sales tax commission. Speaking of elections, there was just one in Jackson, and there's a changing of the guard. How do you feel about the city's prospects kind of going forward? What are your thoughts on that?
It will be better.
Amen.
It will be better. It would be hard to be worse. Don't mean this negative about Mayor Horn at all. It would be impossible for him to not improve. I mean, I think he will. I think he will be better. I think it will be an improvement. What he's done so far and his appointment so far, I think bode well for it. Our 1% commission, people have asked me about how I see that. I think at least it will not be as confrontational as it's been. We won't be worried about fighting about how things are being done. I mean, we have some degree of control over that small amount of money and trying to ensure that it's spent appropriately. But that's a small part of that overall city budget. Right now, it's been the only part of streets, bridges, basic infrastructure, because the city of Jackson has not been spending any of its general fund money on infrastructure for 20 years, 18.
Wow.
Which is the problem, which is why it's in such bad shape. I think Mayor Horn and the new council will probably start looking at that and addressing it. I think Mayor Horn will at least hire a public works office. You know, have a public works director and a public works staff, which to me is important. I mean,
I agree.
I used to be in construction. I gave money away for construction when I was giving away your tax dollars in Washington. Thank y'all for that. I had a great time. But, you know, having a staff there to run it will be an improvement. And we just had, so I think it will be a big improvement. I don't know how well he's going to be able to tackle it. So you can't turn an aircraft carrier around in a short time. It's not something that's going to happen immediate. He's made some good steps already that's beginning to get there, but I look forward to it. I think it's going to make you feel better about it. And it's, on my little role in that one little small spot, it's going to make it more enjoyable expenditure of my volunteer time. People think I get paid for that. It's all volunteer time.
That's a good point too. Yeah, not getting paid for it. Yeah. I mean, it feels.
And I don't mind that. I mean, I'm retired. I don't have anything else to do. Nobody's paying me to do anything else, so why not do that?
It does feel like Jackson really is at a good point right now. You know, I mean, there's obviously plenty of stuff that needs to be worked on. Things could be better. Things could be worse. Pick a city. I mean, any city in the nation, and that's the truth. But it does feel like things are at a spot right now where they can go forward in an improved manner.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
It already is. And there's nowhere to go but up.
Sure.
Very, very low bar to have to climb up.
Absolutely. For sure. Yeah. No, I'm very excited myself.
I am too.
No doubt.
John's a good guy. John's, I think John's smart. John is one of, I used to play a game about naming 10 intellectual people in the legislature. Across the board intellectual. Not legislators, not smart legislators, and nobody could ever get to 10. I mean, I ain't done this in recent years. It's all 2015 before. And if you got 5 or 6, you would include John Horn as being one of the intellectual, because history, literature, all the other worlds that you have to be into. And he's also smart enough to know where his shortcomings are, I believe.
Sure.
And that he needs to hire people to do these things. And so I think he will be good.
Always been a good friend of the show, good friend of MDOT. We got to get the good mayor, the new mayor, back on the show at some point.
Oh yes, for sure. And apparently he is ready to come on after he gets settled in again. So
nice.
Anyway, a lot of optimism as a Jacksonian. I know I talk about it probably too much, but excited for the capital city.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, lots of good information today. Unless you have anything else, we got some fun questions for you, Will, if you want to kick us off.
Yeah, absolutely. I will still thunder on the food question here for you. This is something we ask every episode. Places to eat. We love to eat. No better time or place or relevant situation to ask this question than we just got finished downstairs. One of the best Southern buffets I think I've had in a while. I've got 2 toddlers at home, so me and the wife have not been cooking as much. That may be one of the best plate meals I've had in 20 years. King Ranch chicken out there. Go look it up, everybody. New favorite we just had today. But all that to be said, we do appreciate the hosting and the great meal downstairs. But
I hate to say this first.
yeah,
That great meal you had was leftovers from the last 2 days. I mean,
I can't imagine what it tasted like fresh if that was leftovers.
because this is Monday at the fair, and it's kind of a slower day, and we're catching up from the weekend, and we'll have, come back Wednesday and Thursday with big meals again. So y'all just got here. Now, granted, I like the leftovers at the fair about as good as anything
Absolutely.
because you got a wide assortment of it. But
There's
it
no
was
doubt.
good, yes.
Look, we'll be the Monday crew. We'll be
All right,
glad to
come on
come
back,
over and
yeah.
just polish off the leftovers anytime. We'll take care of that. But having said all that, two-part question for you. One, what is the thing food-wise you most look forward to getting to have a bite of fair times? And then outside of the fair, where's your favorite place to go eat?
Food-wise at the fair, it would have to be something that I don't normally get otherwise. Like, my daughter makes some very good lasagna.
Okay.
That we had some down there. So we always have at the fair. But she also does it generally around Christmas time, and so I get it otherwise.
So it's just a special occasion lasagna.
But I think it's the assortment of, like you just kind of said, the southern. It's all the different vegetables like we'll have
Yes.
yesterday and Wednesday when you got black-eyed peas, lady peas, butter beans, cabbage, fried okra, with some couple of meats, cornbread, or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It's not any one part of it. It's that meal that you kind of get, and across the board, good old sweet potato casserole. I mean, all the things. You can go to any restaurant and get 2 of those with your plate
That's
lunch,
right.
but here you can get 8 of them.
I ran out of space
Yeah.
on my plate. Yeah.
You get another plate.
My mouth is
Yeah.
literally watering.
So good.
That probably is the better one at the fair. There've been some different ones over the years that's been really good, but that is probably that combination.
Can't go
Now,
wrong.
the best place to eat, God bless them, is no longer there, was Piggies in Philadelphia. I don't know if you ever went to Piggies.
I did not. Okay.
If you went to Two Sisters in Jackson,
Okay.
Piggies had better fried chicken than Two Sisters.
Ooh, bold claim.
Now, that's a big claim, but most people that have done both will tell you. And it's like Two Sisters. You had sat at a table, and there might be other people sitting there, smaller than that was, and, different vegetables and whatever. But now they also had a basket there when you walked out that you paid for your meal and made your change.
Okay.
And if you had like a $50 bill, $100 bill, there's a small tackle box. You put it in there and got your 20. So you just
Full-on honor system.
full-on honor system. I mean, the money was just right there, and you paid for it as you went out.
Is that why Peggy's is no longer there?
No,
Okay, just make sure.
because Piggy got old and died.
Oh, well, R.I.P.
And as did her husband. Kids ran it for a little while, but they, it was a lot of work.
I'm not
But
sure.
but it was, if you ask it, and it's a great place for politicos to go.
Peggy's.
If a candidate was coming into town, you'd always want to go by Piggies to eat because they could get around and see people and talk to them and look like a fat Thad Cochran went there when he was running in
Sure.
'78 and sat at the same table who was Maurice Danton's county chairman,
Oh, wow.
and the guy ended up voting for Thad.
Won him over.
He didn't give him up on Maurice as far as publicly, but privately he told me he voted for Thad. So I mean, it had that reputation. If I had my favorite, it would come off the coast probably, and I could name a dozen down there. Now, I hate to be trite, but Little Ray's just going by and getting an oyster pudding,
yeah.
shrimp post. Boy,
Absolutely.
Little Ray's would have to be in there.
We get that one.
But I could name a half a dozen other places down there if I wanted a more full meal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We get a lot of coast recommendations.
And
Yeah.
I hate that the Capitol Grill's closed down up in Greenwood.
I don't know that I realized it closed.
Love there. And, Lusco's at Greenwood was.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a driving tour of the Delta about places to eat one time where you could go all the way up and end up at the Peabody Hotel for,
Not a bad stop. On
and
the
then
way.
come and then turn around and come back, and I had to spend a weekend and catch breakfast here and lunch there. So
The most dangerous part is just trying to stay awake after you eat all the meals.
But anywhere up in the Delta, you can just name all kinds of good places.
Fantastic. 5-star.
Yep.
That is some good eating for sure. The Delta.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've hit a few of those places on our podcast journey. Really good eats for sure. And listen, the other part of this that we like to do with the fun question, we love to talk music. So, in your years at the fair or elsewhere, what is a memorable concert that is stuck out in your head?
Most of them probably be at the fair. They're starting the races now.
There we go.
The one that fit better than anywhere else was when Charlie Daniels came to the fair.
Nice.
Charlie Daniels singing down here in this grandstand with 8,000 people standing around on a racetrack. He was at home and fit. Tammy Wynette here about in the 80s. What's her name? Mandel was here when she became famous. Ray Stevens here. Ray Stevens was here the week before I moved to Washington to go give away your tax dollars. And I was going to leave on Saturday to go back to Washington, and I needed a haircut. And I said, well, I could get a haircut when I get up there. And he sang his song about don't get your haircut out of town. While I was down there listening to it, I went in Saturday and got a haircut in Jackson before I went up there. It was a sign from the Lord. I needed a haircut before I went up there, but I listened to his song and took him at his word. It wasn't the best concert in the world, but he fit the
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Tammy Wynette was here a couple of times, I think, and she was absolutely great. But Charlie Daniels just fit the venue so well.
I'm jealous of both of those for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
That's a good answer, right?
And they've been a lot of good entertainers. Hell, the Parksman band that used to play during the races, they brought the band from Parksman down here that played while in between the races. While they also had the high wire acts and the donkey jumping off the platform into the burning.
Oh yeah, I forgot
all
about
that stuff back in the '60s. But they were quite entertaining. But that wasn't a concert. That was just music. Yeah.
Probably pretty good though. Yeah.
I mean, Minnie Pearl used to be down here. She came in the '60s to sing at the grandstand in between races.
As we got the national anthem queued up right there, ladies and gentlemen.
How about that? We did that. I arranged that just for y'all.
I think it's perfect.
Feeling very patriotic right now. Listen, one of my favorite country bands. I guess this episode will go out tomorrow, Tuesday. I don't know when they're playing, but if it's not, you have a chance. 49 Winchester. They're awesome. They played at Dueling Hall, a friend of the show, and check out that country music for sure.
Thursday.
I think so, later this week.
It's Wednesday or Thursday, yeah.
They are aces. Go check them out.
They are good.
For sure. Yes, sir.
And we'd be glad to have everybody come up and enjoy the fair. So,
That's right.
Travel on up.
Come on to the backside.
People talk about it being hot. It is hot. It's hot in Jackson, too.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
It's going to be cooler towards the end of the week. They say the high of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is going to be like 86.
Oh, wow.
But I don't get up and walk around during the heat of the day. You go to cabins. You sit on cabins. You don't get out. And people that do that miss the good part of the fair.
That's exactly right. Yeah, you come sit on everybody's porch, got the fans going, get you something cold
Move
to
from
drink.
one porch to another.
That's right.
Yep, don't walk around.
I'm not out here trying to get my hot yoga going. No,
Yeah.
too hot to be in the sun.
Not Lane Kiffin, not doing the
right.
hot yoga.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, Pete, thank you so much for
Glad
the
y'all here.
hospitality, having us, hosting
Appreciate
us.
it.
And
Glad you're here.
those stories are awesome. We'll go ahead and wrap things up right there. Thank you to our listeners, our viewers for tuning in to the Extra Mile podcast. You can watch and listen to episodes by visiting gomdot.com/the extra mile. Follow us on social media at Mississippi DOT is the handle. We want to thank our Drew Hall for holding things down behind the scenes, made the trek with us. Remember to drive smart out there on Mississippi highways.